Savage Time TV, another episode. We back at it again, covering Drake's interview on Rap Radar. Great interview. I'm going to review it, talk about some things that kept me confused, that I agree with, and some things I disagree with. First thing, this Pusha T beef. He keeps trying to legitimize the L, give an asterisk to Pusha T in some type of way. Pusha T beat him all around the board. There's nothing else to be said. He brings up that he double-crossed rules. He went under below the belt, bringing up his son. But I'm like, Drake, you brought up his wife first. You brought up somebody outside of you and him first. And he compares it to him and Meek's Mill beef because he says him and Meek Mill kept it just between those two. That's why he respects it, and that's why he feels like Meek Mill was just in a dark place. And I'm like, bruh, no. Pusha T completely gave you an L. You took an L. Don't try to give it any type of asterisk. Don't try to take anything away from him. You lost. Doobie Freestyle was not better. Duppy Freestyle wasn't better. Pusha T gave Drake an L. He gave him an L because he had information he didn't think he had. He went out there and he got hit upside his head. That's what happened. He took an L. He got washed. It's okay. It happens. But don't try to say that Pusha T, you didn't get outbarred. Yes, you did. You definitely got outbarred. That was the whole point. That's why we knew Pusha T was going to beat you, because he was a more lyrical rapper. And then he talks about the Meek Mill beef. The thing with Meek Mill, he talks about how it all started over him not coming to a show. I had heard that it was over something with Nicki Minaj. And I think that's just another instance of Drake not being honest completely. He kind of tries to shoot things under the rug by trying to come out as this honest person, or this person that's always going to keep it real at all times. But he kind of backsteps and sidesteps when he's giving his stories. With the Meek Mill beef, he says that Serena Williams gave him inspiration to write back to back, something that would kill him, something that would just dead it right then and there. And it's crazy because when you compare how he feels about the Meek Mill beef and with the Pusha T beef, he talks about it completely different. He gives Meek Mill props. He says they're all good, everything's cool, because they were honest. I don't understand that. I don't understand. I don't see how he can say with Meek Mill it's all good because they didn't go outside of those two. But then when it goes to Pusha T, the first thing he brings up is his wife. And then he says that with the Pusha T beef, he went and recorded this crazy song that had just all these disses and all this and that, and it just never got put out there because he said he was in a dark place. I don't know, man. I think that's another thing with Drake, just doing that clickbait type of stuff. Moving on. He talks about not being respected as a black man. He says that when it comes to black excellence, it's not with him. And I'm like, I don't know, Drake. You always talk about how you're Canadian. You always want to separate yourself with everything else, but then when it comes to this as a black man thing and how you should be respected, you want to be with us now. But any other time, it's always, you're Canadian. We know you're from Toronto. We know you're different. It's completely different to be a black Canadian than it is to be a black person, and especially a black man in America. To be African American, to be ADOS, an American descendant of slaves, as they say. It's completely different. So no, we're not going to look at you in that way. We're not going to look at you in that light, especially when every time we turn around, you're repping Canada, you're repping Toronto, you're repping a different. You're always talking about how you differentiate from us. So if you are always showing your differences, don't try to then flip it and come back and try to get some type of award because you don't feel recognized. And you're talking about you feel attacked by your black peers when they say, oh, you can't relate. But can you relate? You grew up in Toronto. You were on Degrassi. You're light skinned from Toronto. It's a lot of things that go into it that I could definitely see someone saying, well, maybe you don't relate, or maybe there are some topics that maybe we feel like we can't talk to you about. It's a whole bunch of things. So I don't know what Drake was talking about with that. Talking about being respected as a black man. I definitely think people respect Drake, but it's not like he's the most outspoken person on political issues, specifically the African American community. I don't know if you guys have ever heard anything, but I haven't. But one of the good things I did like about the interview was him talking about him manifesting his reality. I spoke in the beginning about how the interview is conducted in his Toronto mansion. And he talks about how he manifested that into reality, how when he was younger, he would go take girls out on dates and he would take them up to this, I'm guessing this very rich, nice area of Toronto, and he would drive around and tell them, well, this is where I'm going to live one day. This is where I'm going to live one day. And just, he said how that repetitive drive is how he manifested it into reality. And I completely agree with that. I'm one of the people, I would definitely tell someone, if you think about something over and over and you put that effort towards it, you can always manifest anything in reality. If you can see it, you can have it in the palm of your hand. I really like that. I really like that part of the interview. That was one of the parts where I definitely agree with Drake. A part that I didn't really agree with was him saying that rap without melody is dead, and it was kind of another instance of him contradicting himself, because he always talks about how J. Cole, he respects J. Cole and Kendrick, but I would say that if you had to put an example of mainstream rappers that are more of that old school rap without the melody, without the auto-tune, all that stuff, I would point to J. Cole and Kendrick. So I'm like, is he doing that whole backhand compliment thing, dancing around, sidestepping again? Because it's like, if you're saying that rap without melody is dead, like you're saying that not that it's declining, not that it's slowing down, but that it's dead. But then you have Kendrick and J. Cole that are kind of like at the forefront of that, and they're not dead. It's kind of like, how do you really feel about that? I don't know. It was really kind of confusing. I just think, Drake really just be bullshitting. He likes to, like I said, put out something, but then kind of backtrack on it. He kind of likes to seem one way, but then he seems another way. Like, it just makes no sense. Like in his new song War, he talks about how everybody he beefs with is a no-name. But then he says Meek Mill is highly respected and is a great artist and isn't a punk and is an all-time rapper and this, that, and the third. It's like, which one is it, Drake? Like I said, it's a lot of confusing points, and you guys should check it out for yourself. Like I said, it's Drake, Rap Radar. You should definitely check it out. It's like 2 hours long, so you might have to chop it up, but it's definitely worth the watch. Again, this is Brandon, Savage Time TV. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, comment, share. Thank you.